let's say for this trick, I hand the deck over to the spectator and they give it a shuffle. And while they're shuffling, I ask the spectator to go ahead and name any card out loud they would like. Now, because I don't have a spectator here, I'm going to use this deck of cards. But keep in mind, if the spectator was here, they could really name any card. So let's say in this case, the spectator names, let's do it this way, the nine, the nine of spades. And if the spectator wanted to, they could change their mind. Let's say they keep the nine of spades, and I will leave that right there just so you can remember the card. After they name their card, I would explain to the spectator, or actually ask them, why did you name the nine of spades? Like, was there any reason to it? And I would assume they would say no reason at all. Or if there was a reason, they could tell me that too. After this, I explained to the spectator, imagine if I could take your card out of the deck wherever it is and put it over to the side. So essentially making the card invisible. Now your card is totally invisible and gone from the deck. And to prove this further, I would like for you to name any number out loud you would like between 1 and 51, because your card is taken out of the deck and there's 52 cards. So now it's 51. And once again, the spectator could name any number, but let's use the deck here. So let's say they name number 10, and I ask them, would you like to change? And let's say they say, no, I'll keep it. I'll say, okay, let's count 10 cards and see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your nine of spades should not be here because I took it out of the deck. And in this case, it's the four of clubs. So that was right. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take your nine of spades and put it right back in the deck. So this time it'll be on top of the four. I snap my fingers and it's done. I could hand these over to the spectator and have them deal a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You chose the nine of spades at number 10, and in this case, we have the nine of spades. So that is going to be today's trick. If you would like to learn how to do this, make sure to stick around for the tutorial. Okay, tutorial time. So here's how you're going to be able to go about this. This is a really nice any card at any number trick, and it also has that invisible card plot. Since that's the current series we are doing. Basically, tricks like the invisible deck, but instead is impromptu. So there's no gimmick deck. You can basically accomplish the same invisible, of the card being invisible with any deck. So hopefully that made sense, but that's why I'm uploading a lot of these tricks. There were going to be just 3, but after doing a little more research, I found that there's way more than 3. So I should have done research at the beginning. But let's go ahead and get straight into how to do this trick. And before we get into this, in case you're wondering about the 2 decks I'm using, this deck, which is the main deck I'm using, these are the Polyantha playing cards, okay? Now, I think these are a V1, because if I heard correctly, there's a V2 or a second edition coming out. But if you have the Polyanthas and you follow whoever made these, let me know down below if there is a second edition coming out. I think there is. And same for this deck. This is the Twisted Artistry deck by Terry Addy. I apologize. I can never say it right. But the Twisted Artistry, I think there's a V2 coming out as well. I happen to win both of these decks by ever so slight. So I'm going to leave his channel down below, and I'm also going to leave the 2 deck reviews down below as well. So let me go ahead. I think I just repeated myself. Let me make the list here so I don't forget to put anything down. This is a good chance for you to pause the video and grab your own deck if you want to follow along with this as well. Okay, so here's how we're going to do the trick. So before starting this trick, you want to make sure your deck has 52 cards. In case someone names the 9 of spades, for example, and you don't have the 9 of spades, it's going to be a little awkward. So just make sure you have a full 52 card deck before you perform this effect. But if you have 52 cards, here's the tutorial. So you can start off by handing the deck to the spectator, and they can give it a shuffle. And while they're doing that, you can ask them to name any card out loud they would like. Now, it really doesn't matter what card they name, okay? And they can even change their mind if you would like. If they would like, you just want them to be satisfied with one card that they name. So let's say in this case, they name the Jack of Spades. And after they name the card, you're going to take the deck back and you're going to be asking them questions like, why did you name the Jack? And basically stuff like that. And while you do that, you could even explain to them what's going to happen for the trick, the invisible aspect. But all you're doing is going through the deck like this to yourself. You can mix up some cards if you want, okay? Make it look like you're just fumbling through. But you want to find that Jack of Spades wherever it is, right here, and you just want to move it to the top of the deck. So any way you feel comfortable, go ahead. I'm not going to go too in depth with any card controls, because all I did was I just went through, and you can mix up cards like this. I asked them why did they choose the Jack. I find the Jack right here, and I just cut it to the top. So now it's on top of the deck. Now you could follow this up with some false cuts and false shuffles. Just leave the Jack on top. After you've done this, you're going to ask them for a number between 1 and 51. This is assuming you have already explained the invisible part of the trick. And if you didn't, now would be a good time to explain it, because it's going to cover a little move you're going to do. So while looking them in the eye and explaining this, you're going to peel off 1, 2, 3 cards, okay? Now the second and third card, you're going to want to take back with your thumb, keep it as a double, and you're going to have a pinky break underneath it. Then this top card I put down, and to make the move easier, I have a ring finger break. Now that might look a little awkward depending how you do it, so you don't have to do it this way. This is how I do it. And this is going to be the perfect time for you to ask them to name a number out loud between 1 and 51, because their card is taken out of the deck. We have an ace for a 1, and let's say we have a queen, that's 12, say 13 here. So now they can change their mind if you would like, and you can ask them why they chose 13. It doesn't matter, but here's the move you're gonna do. The first card, which is theirs, you're going to put down singly. And if this isn't real performance, I like to grab it by the top right and bottom right corner like this with my middle and thumb. I like to squeeze it a little and then drop it down. And this is going to cover the motion for the second card, okay? Now you know it's the second and third card, but you're going to hide this as one card. If you give it a little squeeze and set it down, it's going to stay together. A little tip on the squeeze here. When you do this and you squeeze it, you don't want to squeeze it too high up for them to see their card, okay? Just want to give it a nice little squeeze like that. And for these two cards, you want to be careful with the thickness too, that they don't split apart, they don't see that there's two cards. You want to be careful with that. And when you drop it down, it might come apart slightly, but this will be hidden because you're going to keep dropping cards down on top of here, counting to their number. This might sound confusing, but I am going to go over this one more time at the end. So they named 13. So you know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. When you get one number under their number, so they name 13, you're at 12. The 13th card is on top of the deck, so you're going to turn it over and show it to them. And this isn't going to be their card, obviously, because their card is on the bottom of this packet. So you're going to go ahead and take their invisible card, explain whatever you would like, but put it back on top of the packet here, or the 5. And then you can pick up all of these. Make sure you don't flash that bottom card. And if you spread some of these, obviously, by picking them up, no one should be able to notice that this is 14 instead of 13 because of that one extra card. So we should be good in that aspect. Just drop these on top, and now you're good. So you can explain whatever you want, but now they're going to deal 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And in this case, we have the Jack of Spades. So that is the effect. A really nice any card at any number. And the card also turns invisible as well, which is just really nice. So let me go over this one more time, and then that's going to be the video. So the deck will be shuffled, and any card is going to be named. So let's say we have the Ace of Clubs. If they wanted to, they could change their mind. However you feel comfortable, so I like to mix up the cards like this and ask them why they chose the Ace of Clubs. You're going to spread through here, find the ace, and cut the ace and all the cards underneath it to the top of the deck, or in this case, the bottom of the deck, because it's face up. So now the ace is going to be right there. After this, you're going to get a break underneath 3 cards. Now, technically, you don't need one underneath the top card. I just think it makes the move easier. So whatever you feel more comfortable with, go ahead. So this is when I have them name a number. So I spread off 1, 2, 3. I put my pinky in. I take my thumb and I peel back the second and third card. I keep it as a double. And then I put my ring finger down and I put that top card right there. So let's say the spectator names number 5. Okay, now it doesn't matter what they name. Now you don't want 1 or 2 or even 3. So with a 5, they could go higher, but let's stick with 5. After this, you're going to go ahead and deal the first card singly. So however you feel comfortable doing that. Make sure that doesn't happen. I like to do it like this. 1, here's your double, so squeeze it and keep it together. 2, 3, 4, and the one number underneath the number they named, so 4, you're going to deal that many. On the 5th card, you can turn it over and show it's not theirs. And then if you did the invisible aspect, you can put their card right back here, pick up this pile, put it on top, and then you can deal 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is the Ace of Clubs. So that was today's trick. I hope you really enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what else you would like to see on the channel. That's it, and I will see you guys next time with a new video. Bye.